The following non-nominated, non-award-winning program is rated D for dumb.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Hello, everybody. Dave Canyon here. Welcome to the Dumbcast and a Cardcast and a podcast. Are you ready to dumb it down? All right, fantastic. We're going to dumb down those things and more as I am driving north. That's enough. Please, sit down. Everybody have a seat. Relax. It's a long show. It's a half hour at least, maybe 45 minutes. Lately, I've been doing 45-minute shows. I am on the Thruway. No, I'm not. You know, I just practiced this just to do a test recording, and I said the same thing. And then I corrected myself. And then I said, I'm on the Thruway. No, you're not. You're on the Mass Pike. Wait, no, you're not. You're on the Connecticut Turnpike. No, you're not. You're on I-95, it was the Florida Turnpike, I think. No, I wasn't. No, I'm just on I-95. I am south, way south of the United States. South than I'm usually from, more southern than I'm usually from. I was down in Gainesville, Florida. Gainesville, G-A-I-N-E. Why are you spelling it? Nobody cares. S-V-I-L-L-E. Because I often hear things, Dave, but you're deaf. You have a disability. Other people aren't deaf. That's why, and you talk loud too, so they hear you. I know. Well, Gainesville, not Gainesville, Georgia. Gainesville, Florida. Beautiful area. I really enjoyed myself. I was down there for the last since previous Thursday, which would be, if today's the 10th, I should have done this already, 10-9-8-7. I left on the 6th, or the 5th, the 6th. I left on the 6th of March, and I arrived in Florida the 7th of March, and I stayed there until the 10th of March, and I just left about 2 hours ago. I think I did. Doesn't matter. I was at the Gainesville, the GatorNationals. GatorNationals? What's that? Well, I'll explain it. Let me just tell you, it's 69 degrees outside. I'm going to do a quick weather report and a mileage report. Quick weather report. It is 69 degrees. It is sunny on I-95. We are headed north. So the sun is setting in the west to my left. And my eyes are tearing just a bit because I've had suntan lotion on me all weekend. And I must have touched my eye. I've done this before. I think I've done podcasts like this before where I can't get my eye to stop tearing. You know, I dab it, I do this, I do that. I really just need to rinse it in water. But I'm not stopping until the next gas station. So if you can detect it, if you sense it, you hear it, or I might even say it, like I'm driving, not really with two eyes. I'm driving kind of with 1.5 eyes. The left eye seems to be tearing more than the right. But David, you're already podcasting while you're driving. You know people hate that. It's not safe. Well, they say it's not safe, even though you're a professional driver. Why don't you just take care of business? Because you know what? If I take care of business, if I stop this car, if I go to a gas station, and first of all, who knows what those bathrooms look like? Half the time. But in Florida, they have very nice gas stations. They have racetrack. They have sheets. There's like these museums. They're not just like rinky-dink 7-Elevens and Stewart's in upstate New York and some of the other ones we've discussed. They're nice. They're like big, really. Anyway, nobody cares. Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is a big one down here too. B-U-C, I think apostrophe E-E-S. It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculously huge gas station, convenience store, truck stop. Let me know if you've ever been to a Buc-ee's. Put it in the comments, in the Spreaker chat box if you're listening on Spreaker. Do that. Or email me at dumbingitdownwithdave@yahoo.com. Or tell me if you've been to a Buc-ee's on the Dumbing It Down with Dave Facebook group. We greatly appreciate it. Yes, engage with the show. I'm doing everything I can to get you guys to engage. Everything I can? No, not everything. But I think I'm doing a whole bunch of things. So anyway, so my eyes are tearing. I'm headed north on I-95. The sun is setting in the west. It is 6:28 p.m. We are on daylight savings time or Eastern Standard Time. I don't know what we did. Whatever we did, we moved the clock forward this morning. So I'm thinking it's daylight savings. Could be. Who cares? But yeah, darker later. Right. It's 6:28 and it's not dark yet. So it gets darker later. Daylight savings time. And God, Florida was beautiful. Gainesville was beautiful. I was also in a place called Palatka. P-L, again with the spelling. Yes. P-A, because it's who knows how I talk with my accent. And who knows how you hear with your hearing, you know? P, capital P, A-L-A-T. Just one P. Do it again. Capital P, A-L-A-T-K-A. Palatka. Palatka. I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. I didn't hear anybody say it when I was there. I just went there. I went there because they had not the only, but they had one of the few Planet Fitnesses that was open 24/7. The ones in Gainesville all close at 11. Wrong. They all close at 9. Wrong. They all close at 7. I do this every week now. I have these debates. They close it at 7. That's what happens when you don't script it. I don't script it. I don't do bullet points. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave, everybody. Truth, pragmatism, and the search for it all. Truth, pragmatism, happiness, and the search for it all. An unscripted show I do in my car. Usually it's my 2008 Kia Rio as I commute to and from work. But sometimes I'm in the van, the Dodge Caravan, 2011. Let's do a quick mileage report. The mileage report is 132,505 miles. And we missed weigh-in Friday. But I didn't do a weigh-in because I wasn't at home. So let's just say I weighed just as much as the last time as I did this. Yeah, I weighed just as much. Yeah, it's great. Thank you, Jerry. Yeah, let's celebrate that. Oh, God, I'm going to shut that off. That thing goes on forever sometimes. So I went to Palatka, which is like almost an hour drive. I think it was like 45, 50 minutes to the east towards the water, towards the Atlantic Ocean, away from Gainesville, because it had a 24/7, this is how I live, a 24/7 Planet Fitness, because I wanted to take a shower. You know, Saturday night I wanted to take a shower. Otherwise, I would have been stinky, totally stinky on Sunday. It was hot, or hotter than it was. It's often humid, you know, and I just didn't want to be uncomfortable. So it was a beautiful drive at night. I couldn't see anything, but still, it was a beautiful drive. We had a little rain, we had a little thunder and lightning, but still, it was kind of nice. And I was all by myself. Let me tell you something. I get to this Planet Fitness. I wasn't going to talk about this, but since it's on my mind, I don't know do you go to a gym? What gym do you go to? Do you go to a big one? LA Fitness, Best Fitness, 24/7 Fitness? Where do you go? I go to Planet Fitness. Holy cow. I've been to Planet Fitnesses before, in Albany, Kingston, all that, Pennsylvania, you know, all that. But this one in Florida, this one I went to in Palatka, holy cow, I think they just built it yesterday. It is huge, so huge. It was huge. Not as big as a Walmart, which I went to also in Palatka. The Walmart in Palatka was also huge, just incredibly huge. But the Planet Fitness, by the way, this is the icebreaker, but maybe not. Maybe we went past it already. I don't know. But the Planet Fitness, the equipment was so brand new. I mean, it was space age looking. You could just tell by looking at it. You go, wait a minute. This isn't the equipment I've been seeing at Planet Fitness for the last 10, 15 years. This is like brand new. Not because it was clean, because it looked like it was space age, like it was modern, like. But Dave, treadmills, I mean, how do you make listen, I can't explain it. But you know when you see a car, remember when you saw a car in 1975? You say, oh yeah, look at that car, look at that Vega. Why do I pick a Vega? Look at that Nova. Isn't that a beautiful Vega or a Nova or a Pinto or an Oldsmobile Delta 88? See, it's a car cast. It's a dumb cast and a car cast and a podcast. And it's also sometimes a fitness cast. So anyway, you would see that car back there. You go, wow, look how beautiful. Look at that Nova. That's a beautiful Nova. Look at that Vega. That's nice. Look at the lines. Look at the lines on that Lincoln Continental. Look at that. And then like 30 years later, you're like, you know, not so nice anymore. But every year, that's not even the best example. The best example is in 1976, they come out with a new Pinto, Vega, whatever. And you go, oh, wow. Look what they did to the Nova. 1 year later, wow, what a great looking Nova. You know, 2 years later, it's like, oh my God, they rounded the edges. It's not, sometimes, by the way, why am I yelling? sometimes it looks worse. Sometimes it doesn't look better. There was a couple of years in the auto industry where cars did not look better. They don't always look better, but when they do, you go, "Whoa, look at that! Looks better." Anyway, so these machines, and you could just tell, like, oh wow, they got somebody in design, research and development and design, and they must have had a couple of examples, and they came up with this. And I don't know, these machines. Why am I talking about? Who cares about treadmills and exercise machines? All I'm saying is, I walked in, I went, holy cow, this place is huge. Holy cow, this equipment is space age looking. It's so new. And holy cow, this place is empty. It was 9 or 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday. This place was empty. Like, there's 3 people on a treadmill. Just, I took a look around before I went into the shower, which I'll get to in a second. And the people on the treadmill remind me of the same people that used to go shopping at supermarkets. And this is a true story. Not that I make anything up, but this is true. This happens all across the world, at least the United States. There's this thing that people go shopping late at night are usually like either obese or what, and I'm not making fun of it. I'm just saying they go shopping at night because, yeah, they have scheduling issues. I get it. Yeah, they got kids, and one of them, there's all these reasons. One parent stays with the kids, the other one goes shopping, or whatever. You just don't have time. You don't like the crowds. There's a whole bunch of reasons. But one of the reasons is also that people don't like to be seen shopping when they're obese because they feel like they're being judged for every purchase. And then when they go to the cashier and they see that shopping cart, they go, "Ooh, do you really need that ice cream? Look at you. You're leaning into the wagon and you're pushing the shopping cart around." That's what I meant to say. So anyway, one of many reasons, folks. All right, I'm just saying. But I think some of these people at the Planet Fitness, they were like, I don't want to go like when it's crowded because I don't want to be judged, even though they say Planet Fitness, no judgment, right? But anyway, that's what I noticed. I said, look at that person, I said, well. And Dave, by the way, who are you to speak? No, I totally agree. I mean, I'm nobody to talk. I've lost 48 pounds in the last 3 to 4 months, but I'm nobody to talk. But I can understand if you felt that way about yourself, if your self-esteem was low, or you're just embarrassed. You don't have to have low self-esteem. Yeah, you feel a little funny. Going to the gym where everybody's, all buff or halfway there, or you just feel out of sorts. Anyway, so huge Planet Fitness, very empty, 10, 11 o'clock at night. So I was just there for the shower. And let me tell you something. I go into that shower, and this was a shower not built for one, not built for two. This was a shower, and I think they were all like that. There was one other that was busy. I kind of poked my head into the other ones that I didn't think were busy because I didn't hear water running. That's a good sign, folks. If the curtain is closed or open, just listen for water. If the water's running, it's probably busy. Or some prankster turned on the water and then left. That would really be horrible. But you can always stick your head and go, hello, anybody in there? Is this being used? And they'll go, yeah, you idiot, there's water running. They go, well, yeah, but sometimes there's kids, they as a prank, they turn on the water and then they close the curtain. Because they let kids in during the summer. Planet Fitness has that thing now. High school kids go for free or something in the summer, and nobody likes it. Nobody that's an adult likes it. Anyway, this shower was not built for one. It was not built for two. This shower was built for a threesome or more. This shower was like for swingers. I was like, holy cow. There's so much room in here. You could play water volleyball. Water volleyball. It was like, wait a minute, is that what it's called? Yes. Pool volleyball. Water volleyball. That's what they call it. Wet volleyball. Water volleyball. Yes, it was. You could set up a net, and you could set up the water in such a way where it would be, everybody would be getting wet, getting rained on, and you set up a net and you play volleyball with a smaller ball. Kind of like pickleball is to... I just created $1 million craze for swingers. Or even if you're not swinging, you probably do this outside. You set up these water hoses, and you play a sort of a pickleball. Well, you can't do it on a slippery floor. Okay, so there's a floor to my idea. All right, well, so what? You didn't think of it. All right, I'm doing a podcast. It's a podcast, a carcast, and a dumbcast, and a podcast, and it's also a game cast now. So I would pickleball the volleyball, and I would make it water volleyball. And basically, pickling, you shrink it or whatever, So anyway, it was big. I was just very impressed with it. I was like, man, it's big. I mean, is this a family shower, or is this something about Florida I should know? A shower is more fun in Florida because there's more room than you need, and more room, room for more than one. All right, so that was it. And then I went to the Walmart, and it was huge, except they didn't have the salami I wanted, which is really ridiculous. And I went to find this lady in Delhi. I said, listen, I'm looking for this salami, this dry type of salami. It might be peppercorn salami, but it comes in a paper bag. It's wrapped in paper, and it looks fancy, but it's not fancy. It's in a casing, like salami usually is. You peel off the plastic casing or whatever that casing is made out of. But it was wrapped in paper, too. So then they charge you like $8 for I don't know how many ounces. The lady had no idea. She had no idea if she had this salami, so she had to look up on her phone. The first lady I asked didn't even speak English, which was interesting. And then she goes, "Oh, 1 second," and she ran away. She came back with the boss, and the boss was leaving. The boss had the coat in her hand and her bag, so she had to put it down. And she said, "Can I help you?" I said, "Yeah, I'm looking for salami." So she gets out her flip phone with the split screen, and she's like scrolling. She goes, "Yeah, it's usually here. I don't know why it's not here." I go, "Yeah, I know where I look for it, and I know where I find it, but it's not here." And she looked and looked and looked. She goes, "Oh, it's not here. But if it was anywhere, it would be an A20. A20, like 20. That's 20 aisles down. We were in zero. We were in aisle 0. We were at the deli. All right, so I walked the 20. This is how big this Walmart was. I walked 20 rows, basically to the back of the store. And there was no dry salami. There was all that jerky, all that beef jerky stuff and meat stick stuff, and I would have bought it, but a lot of it has sugar, and it's just not good for you. So I didn't buy it. So, but that's my Planet Fitness and Walmart story. Really, really huge stores, gyms and stores, and both of them were empty. Although there were more people at the Walmart because they were shopping. But I got to tell you, no matter where you go in the United States, when you go to Walmart after 11 o'clock, it's like The Walking Dead. I mean, and not just the people that work there, the people that shop there. Dave, you're one to talk. What do you think you look like? I know. I look through the world through Dave-colored glasses. I understand that. I get that. But, man, there was some creepiness going on. It's always kind of fun. At the same time, I always think, is this the last time I ever shop? Is this my last moment in life? Are one of these people going to go Walmart on us? So, the GatorNationals. I think I'm getting to everything I alluded to. Gainesville, Florida. Very diverse, by the way. I liked being in Gainesville. I like driving around downtown and all that. The Planet Fitness in Gainesville, the Publix supermarket, the Lowe's. Very diverse. What do you mean diverse, Dave? Usually you're not into diversity or whatever they call it. No, it's not that I'm not into it. I don't like when people make a big deal of it. But you just mentioned it. I mentioned it because this is part of my pragmatic life. Dave, you're not using the word properly. I know. It's my show. Stop talking into my head. But it's you talking into your head. I know. Quiet, Dave. Quiet on the set. I don't mind diversity when it's organic, when it just happens because people are decent, because it just is the way it is. It's the natural scheme of things. Nobody artificially inseminated the neighborhood or whatever. I know that's not the word, but you know what I'm saying? It's just the way it became. But Dave, neighborhoods become gentrified. Manhattan, a lot of Manhattan got gentrified. It was black and then it became white. All right, I understand that. So that doesn't mean the neighborhood isn't diverse. There's no perfect solution to diversity. What's the perfect solution? I don't know what it is. What's the criteria? What is all that? I don't know. All I know is I'm driving around Gainesville, and I'm seeing all sorts of people on the streets. Young, old, black, white, and all other nationalities. All other nationalities? Well, things that don't look familiar to me, I'll just say, that's another nationality. That person seems to come from a different country, a different land of origin. Ooh, there you go. That's my political correct phrase for other countries. A different land of origin. Maybe even some people, like the ones at Walmart, come from a different planet of origin. How you like that? And some people come from a different species of origin. Boy, I'm really nailing this without a script. I really come up with some good phrases here. Yeah, origins. What is your origin? People have various diverse origins. And that is fine with me. And Gainesville, Florida, seemed to be naturally diverse. There's a part of Florida, somewhere there was a college, I could tell, because there were all these young people. It would have been really weird if there were all these young people who were walking around and there wasn't a college. That would be really weird. By the way, we're 21 minutes into the show. I'm going to do a test now, and then I'm going to do a test at 23 minutes and 20-some-odd seconds, because I think that's when they run the commercials. I've been paying attention. I think they run the commercials. If I do a 45-minute show, I think they do it about the 23:30 mark. But I'm going to stop right here and see if they insert it right here. All right, we'll see. I gave him a moment, a pause, a break in the action. Let's see if they inserted a commercial. And I'll do it again in about 2 minutes at 23:30. Let's see if they do it then. Because Linda says they're just interrupting me in mid-sentence. But you're supposed to be able to pick like when Spreaker plays these ads. So I figured if I just keep my mouth quiet at 23:30, they'll insert it. Whatever. I don't know why I even care. You don't miss anything when they run a commercial in the middle of my sentence. They just do, and it is what it is. So yeah, I liked Gainesville a lot. There was nice. There was a city part with the college. There's a lot of rural on the outside of the city, and there's neighborhoods. There's nice neighborhoods. There's also some kind of slummy, but it's weird. They have these trees. I don't know what I guess they're palm trees, but I think they're different from palm trees. Palmetto? No, I don't know. I'm not a Florida tree expert. I didn't look it up. I could have, I should have, but I didn't. And when these leaves, also I feel like that might have been a storm. Like I might have missed a storm. I might have. I don't know. But there were all these leaves all over the place. I mean, big. They're really big. Not like northeast small palm-sized or hand-sized, Did I miss it already? No. Let me see. Got my glasses on. 45 seconds. Not those types of leaves. They were huge leaves. Like you could fan somebody with these leaves. You could put a stick. You could put these leaves on a stick, and you could, when the Pharaoh says, "Come here, slave boy," fan me. Oh, okay. Those type. Anyway, they were all over the floor in certain areas, and because I drove through some neighborhoods, and I'm like, oh, this it made it look slummy because it was a mess. And they have a lot of apartment complexes there, like low to the ground, not like tall buildings. They're very squatty, one-story apartment complexes. I guess that's what you call them. Up 23:30. Let's take a break. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll stop. All right. I gave them 2 opportunities to play commercials. I hope they pick one of those 2. I heard Jay Moore, the comedian, Jay Moore, he had a podcast, and he would just stop. He'd say, all right, here's the commercial. And he would just stop talking. Is it, okay, that's where the commercial should have went. Like, all right, I don't know how he knew. I don't think he was on Spreaker. So anyway, I like when diversity is organic. I like when we don't force the issue. And I like Gainesville. Plenty of stores, but plenty of restaurants. Holy cow, you can eat your way through Florida. I mean, holy cow. Well, a lot of restaurants, which I didn't eat at any of them, by the way. I didn't have time, but I had to get to the shower and get back to the track and go to sleep. Track? What track? All right, I'm getting to it. I was down in Florida for the GatorNationals, the NHRA, not the NRA, which would have been okay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But I was at the NHRA GatorNationals, the opening weekend of the year in Gainesville, Florida, the National Hot Rod Association, and I saw the drag races this year. It's like the big major leagues of drag racing. And I drove all the way down from New York. Took me about 20 some odd hours. I had some traffic on the way down. I stopped, here and there for gas, several times for gas. Maybe one time or 2 times too many. I'm not really sure. But I wasn't really sure how much mileage I was going to get in this van on the thruway. I mean, on I-95, because this is the first time that I have fueled this van. And I could have done this 3 or 4 years ago when I bought this van. But again, I've admitted it many times. Dave Canyon has mental problems. This is when it's okay to talk about yourself in the third person. Is that what I'm doing? The first person, third, second? How many persons are there, by the way? If anybody could tell me that. How many persons are there? And give me an example of what each one sounds like. If you want to, please call the Dumbing It Down with Dave hotline. And maybe you can give me examples using your name, maybe, you can use my name, of talking about yourself in the different numbered persons. I don't know how many persons there are. I don't. I really don't. This is interesting. And by the way, there are about 1.5 million, maybe 1.75 million. This is one of those moments where Dave toots his own horn. Well, if I don't do it, who's going to do it? You guys ain't doing it. I don't want to pick on you. I don't want to berate you or anything like that. But, other than Linda, who engages with the show, the Spreaker chat box, and I know she's not on all those social media platforms, where's my tribe? Where are my folk? Where are my dummies? My dum-dums. Where are my dum-dums? Dave, you took a podcation. Yeah, I know. You knew you were going to lose your dum-dums. Yeah, I know. Well, whatever. But I need new dum-dums. So I need the dum-dums that I have to... it's a term of endearment, by the way. Don't be offended. For those of you who are new to the show. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was thinking, what am I talking about? I almost lost myself. By the way, still no yawning. Doing great on the carnivore diet. And I don't go down rabbit holes and forget where I was. I mean, I had a momentary miss, whatever. But I'm okay now. 347, the Dumbing It Down with Dave hotline. 347-338-8487. 347-338-8487. That is the Dumbing It Down with Dave hotline. We played a phone call from somebody last week, from Bobby Massey. Thank you, Bobby, for calling. We greatly appreciate it. Sounded like a somewhat sincere phone call and all that good stuff. And that's it. Sometimes I think Bobby just calls because he wants to hear his name on the radio. And that's okay, too. Because I know Bobby doesn't listen to every show. I'm not angry. I'm not hating. I'm just saying, I don't think he listens to every show. He doesn't comment on every show. He doesn't email every show. He doesn't call the hotline every show. Not that he has to. And not that there's anything wrong with that. Or not, doing it or not doing it. I'm just saying, I know who's listening. I have an idea. So anyway, please call that hotline. First person, second. I don't know how many persons there are. And if you want to give an example. So it's going to be hard to do that in 30 to 60 seconds, maybe. So go ahead, do 90 seconds. Try to keep it clean. And just maybe, if it pertains to anything, I will put it on the air, as they say in radio. But this is podcasting. So I'll put it on the podcast. 347-338-8487. It should be in the show notes. If not this show, for all the recent shows that I've done. And the most recent shows that I've done, Training Day. Have you heard Training Day? That was episode 327. What was Training Day about? Training Day, I did in my van, coming back from Springfield, Mass, after a day of training with my new company. Training, wow, it was really, really important. I go to this training day. And we talked about training. Oh, so let's, that's a good segue. Let's go, that was an accidental segue, really, truly. Let's go into the letters. Letters. No, we don't. We really don't get any letters. We get some comments. Most of them are from Linda, who I love and I appreciate so much that she has... that she does this. She doesn't miss a beat. I had somebody call me, I swear. He could be listening. He knows who he is. I'm not going to embarrass him. I've embarrassed him before, but I'm not going to make it a daily. I'm not going to give him airtime for embarrassing me because it probably upsets him. And then he'll say, no, it doesn't upset me. I really, really mean to engage with the show. But, hey, I called you, man. Hey, man, I called you. Like, that's great. But you know what? You know what's important to me, all right? Not that your phone call isn't important to me, but, you engage. You say something. You say several things. Come on, engage. Because I would be engaging with you, and you wouldn't have to ask me one little bit. So, Yeah, he called her. Oh, I heard the show, but, whatever. And everything after but is like, that's a lie. It's a lie, and it's BS. If it's not a lie, it's BS. If you listen to the show, it takes 2 seconds to hit the pause button, and then you go to your chat. You hit the your messenger. You hit the whatever. Somewhere you hit a microphone, and you just leave a message. You call with the Dumbing It Down with Dave hotline, or you leave a message. On the Dumbing It Down with Dave hotline, or in the Spreaker chat. But Dave, not everybody listens to the Spreaker chat. Well, whatever. It's not hard to Dumbing It Down with Dave at yahoo.com. It's not hard to @Dumb with Dave on Twitter or X or anywhere. So just do it, please. Thank you. See, I said please at least. I'm not totally obnoxious. All right, Training Day, episode 327. We got some comments here, and they are from Linda. And let me get my glasses on while I'm driving. Thank you so much. Oh, that was me. First comment. Yep, porta potty. That was me. That was her. Linda came up with porta potty. Linda, I am driving. I'm just saying Linda. Linda did it. I am driving. When I drive my Kia Rio, it is a porta potty. Get it? Porta, because it's portable, and potty, like podcast. But porta potty has, you get it. Okay. Google brings up Dave Canyon Loop near Tijuana, New Mexico. Really? Dave Canyon, all this whole week after she left that message, I get the meaning to look it up. Dave Canyon Loop-de-Loop. Loop-de-Loop. Is it the letter D? Here we go, Loop-de-Loo. Here we go, Loop-de-la. So you got to look up that song. Is it Loop-D, the letter D? Or is it D-E? Or I don't even know. Dave, it's your show. Don't make Linda do the work. You look it up. I know, but I forget. So anyway, yeah, Loop-de-Loo, Loop-de-la. I talked about the Loop-de-Loop. And Linda looked it up, and she said something near the Dave Canyon Loop near Tijuana, New Mexico. Who knew? I got to look that up. All right, I mentioned Linda lives in Dave. Hey, everybody. Dave, is this the Linda and David show? Well, yeah. I mean, if 20 people engage, 20 people get a mention. One person engages, one person gets a mention. I talked about her living in fire and ice. If the area around her house isn't on fire, then she's surrounded by snow. But the phrase is fire and ice. You wouldn't say fire and snow. Of course you could say fire and snow, but people recognize fire and ice. It's a song. It's like a million songs. All right, she wrote, we had 16 inches of snow, holy cow, and 65-mile-an-hour winds. Wow. Over the weekend. That's a lot. That's a hard life. Up until 5 a.m., shoveling it away from my front door. Someone came in with a professional snow remover and dug me out the rest of the way. Holy cow, Linda. That's a lot. 16 inches. Holy cow. Okay. That's a lot. I'm glad you're doing okay. I'm glad you're getting help. I'm glad people are helping you. Or you're paying them, or whatever it is, but I'm glad people are showing up. Linda wrote, we live near Payette National Forest, which is on fire every summer, 25 miles from my house. Yep, I think that's the big tourist attraction, is the Payette National Forest. And every year, that area goes on fire. And Linda has to deal with it. I only had that Canadian fire, which burned last year. It was horrible. The sky was brown, the sky was orange, it was red. So people were choking because the Canadian fires. This is ridiculous. How do you have a Canadian fire? I guess you can. Linda wrote, they throw your mid-roll commercials in the middle of a sentence. Yeah, well, that's because I don't shut up. You got to shut up. Dave, shut up. At the 23:30 mark, shut up. Somewhere around there. Linda wrote, training seminars happen because so many people have no common sense. Absolutely. That is absolutely the reason we have to have these trainings. I mean, there's other training. Like if you don't know how to operate something, you don't know how to operate it, you need a training. That's not necessarily common sense, but I get what you're saying. Like, behavioral training, this should be common sense. But, equipment training, well, that's a different story. But yeah, thank you, Linda. You're absolutely right. What was the next thing you wrote? This might be, oh no, not the last thing. They actually had to tell people not to eat Tide Pods. This is the society we live in. Absolutely. I think it's mostly kids, right? But you got to admit, Linda, you look at those Tide Pods, you go, oh, man, I'm kind of hungry for a snack. I want some peanut butter and jelly. I want whatever flavor that is. This is a strange invention. And I think it also sort of resembles, correct me if I'm wrong, I never thought of it until just now, but doesn't the Tide Pod sort of look like one of those Willy Wonka everlasting gobsnockers, or whatever they call it? Gobsnockers. I think it looks alike. Possibly. In my memory, somewhere in my memory, there's a cell that contains a memory of that movie, and I remember that. All right. Why do I feel like we're at 40-some-odd minutes? No. Yeah, 39. Not bad. Doing good. All right. Linda wrote, I was disappointed that sexual harassment training was not teaching me how to harass my coworkers. Oh, ROFL, she wrote, rolling on the floor laughing. Linda, I really don't think you were rolling on the floor laughing with that, but that was funny. Yeah, I know, right? You want to harass them? I get it. But this is, sexual harassment. It's totally different. But yeah, I wouldn't want to sexually harass anybody. I feel like people, especially women, I really do believe this. I really, really, really believe this. And I've talked about this on the show before, because this happens like when I'm in a parking lot of a mall, like I used to be outside of JCPenney's or Macy's, and there'd be a woman in the parking lot like walking in front of me. We just happened to be like walking in the same direction at the same time. Of course. I mean, it's going to happen, right? It's happened to you. It's happened to everybody. But I guess they think I kind of planned it, because they look at me and they go, oh, stranger danger, creepo's coming. And they think I'm going to sexually harass them. I know that's what they think. It's really interesting. My wife goes, no, that's in your head. I go, no, that's not. Because I know they walk faster, and I know they go through the doors, and they never hold the door open for me. Very, very rarely will a woman walk in front of me, go into a building, and hold the door open for me. It is so rude. And out of all the things that have happened to me over my life, all the embarrassing things that have happened, all the things, that would have happened, whatever has happened to you, we go, why did that person just treat me like that? Everybody has that experience, right? Why did that person just say that to me or do that to me? Why did that person just ignore me? Why did that person say that about me behind my back? Whatever horrible interaction that you've had, or whatever you've heard or whatever from another person that made you feel less than, something that made you feel less than. When a woman does that, I mean, I guess I'm okay, because I talk about it, I make light of it and all that stuff, but it is a little like deflating. It is a little bit like, really? Because if you had saw George Clooney or Brad Pitt, you would have stood at attention. You would have stood at attention. So, oh, hello, George. Oh, hello, Mr. Pitt, or whatever you would say, whatever superstar, handsome actor. Oh, it's Jason Momoa, or whatever his name is. Oh, look, it's Aquaman. Oh, hello. I always saw your movie. Smiles, all smiles. You don't know these people are nice people. You just know they make movies. And they're, I guess, quote-unquote, handsome men. Desirable by women. But I don't get that ever. I never get the smile. I never get anything like that. It's always like, I gotta go. Feet don't fail me now. This stranger danger is behind me. He's probably going to throw me down to the ground. And, God, I don't even want to be in a 2-foot vicinity of this ogre. Well, anyway, that's how I see it. I think it's true. All right, there you go. That's all the comments. Thank you, Linda. I greatly appreciate it. The GatorNationals, drag racing, Florida. Oh, my God, it was fantastic. I had a great time, great weather, great racing, great people. I met so many nice people. I was standing. If you go to the Dumbing It Down with Dave Facebook group, or also the Dave's Fit Life Facebook group, you will see some videos that I posted of the cars that I was standing right on top of. They had me working the start-finish line. I mean, I was right there. In NASCAR, they have the flagger, and he's like 20 feet in the air, and, he just waves that flag. He hangs over the railing, and he waves the flag, and the cars go zoom, 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 but they already know that it's green because they got guys in their ears going, green, green, green. If you ever watch a NASCAR race, they don't even need to see the flag. They got a spotter. The spotter going, green, 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 and they go. Well, anyway, they don't have a flag man in the NHRA. They have what they call is the tree. You've seen it in movies. It's, I don't know what color, yellow and then green, whatever. I should know the colors by now, but I just know there's yellow and green. There might be another color. Red. Maybe red, yellow, green. I don't know. Anyway, there's no flagger. So what was I doing? Dave, what role could you possibly have in an NHRA professionally sanctioned drag race? What event could you possibly have any role in? You have no skills. Nobody knows you. Nobody likes you. Women, you're frightened by you. What in the world could you possibly do? And I'm going to be very honest with you. I didn't get paid a lot of money to do this, but I got enough to pay for my gas from New York to Florida and back. And I didn't have to get a hotel room because I slept in the van, and I showered at Planet Fitness in Palatka and in Gainesville. The honest answer to what do I do? What function do I perform? Very honestly, nothing. I do almost nothing. I said nothing, and then I said almost nothing, because the nothingness that I do is a space being occupied by a person from a place of origin, from an origin of origin, whatever the phrase you want to put. And I wear a yellow shirt that says staff. What does it say? I had a polo shirt that said event staff on the front, and on the back it was security. You are event staff? Yes, that I can do. I'm event staff. EVENT. Security? Well, security is an interesting word. I didn't look it up. I should have looked it up. It has probably multiple meanings. Did I provide safety to anybody? Yes, I quite possibly could have. If there was a disaster and somebody was where they didn't belong, yes. If I had gotten them out of there in time, I would have saved somebody's life. I would have provided security. But nothing happened. And for the most part, everybody was where they were supposed to be. Everybody was where they were supposed to be. There was nobody really misbehaving. For the most part. 99.9% of the people played by the rules and were pleasant, and we had no issues. So, therefore, that rendered me kind of useless. Or, let's go on the positive, my ogreish, sexually harassing appearance, my deviant appearance, got people to behave themselves. No, nobody's afraid of me. Not these men. The women, maybe. The women aren't afraid of me as much as they're disgusted by me. They're afraid of me because I show up at the parking lot at the same time. But their initial reaction is disgust. They're like, I gotta get away from this guy. So then they walk faster. So it's a combination of the fear and the disgust. So anyway, what did I do the whole weekend? Nothing. I stood there wearing a yellow shirt that said event staff on the front, security on the back. The shirt was provided to me by this company, EKG Securities. I've done this 3 times before, and I'm just there. And they satisfy some sort of body count for people who are there providing some sort of acknowledgement of a human being wearing a yellow shirt, possibly providing security. It's a lot. It's a lot in one sentence, but I'm just being honest. I felt good about being there because I was truly on top of this event. I was on the track. I mean, I'm on the track, and I'm there. I mean, this video, not of me. Well, no, actually, it'll be on TV. If I get this out in time, go to Fox Sports 1 and look up the GatorNationals. If it's on demand, you'll see me. I think you're also going to see a lot of the back of me because the camera will face the cars when they do their burnouts, going down the track, and that's when I turn around because otherwise I'll get hit by rubber and smoke and nitroglycerin, or it's nitrous oxide. I don't know. It's nitro. They call it nitro. Dave, you go to drag racing, you pay attention, you watch it. Yeah, but I don't study it. It's like they say nitro. Glycerin? I don't know. It's nitro. That's all I know. Makes the car go faster. Makes the car go at all. So, yeah, you'll see the back of me a lot, and then, so I guess there'll be times where you see the front of me. So, it should be on demand, and I think it's awesome. It's off. It's often, if the races run on Sunday or the whole weekend, it'll be available like Monday night. By the time you hear this, if you've heard this past Monday the 11th, I don't know if it'll be on demand. But there you go, Gator Nationals, Gainesville. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy the races. I guess I'm supposed to say I love drag racing. Well, I like to not say the word love too much. I like to save it for human beings that I really do love, like my wife and all that. But I don't want to, and my son, of course. But I don't want to just say I really, really enjoy drag racing. I love to do it, and I love to have a more prominent role in the function of things at a professionally sanctioned event. Let me put my glasses on. Am I over time? Did I go over time? Is this still recording? Wow. Okay, I got to stop. That's 45 minutes and 30 seconds. How much time do I have? Do I have an hour? An hour? I'm not doing an hour. Anyway, I enjoyed Gainesville. I enjoyed everything. And I enjoy you guys listening. I'm driving now on the I-95. It is 7:09, and it's still sunny out. I love it. It's getting darker later. I'm getting 20 miles to the gallon, and I'm doing 68 miles an hour if you need to know. And, did I mention? I'm doing this whole trip on E85 fuel. That might have been one of those things I didn't get to. E85. Oh, yeah, I did mention it, but I didn't explain it. Did I? Yeah, I could have done this years ago on my first trip to Florida. You're still yelling. I know. I have a yellow gas cap. What does that mean? Well, it came with the van. It comes with the van. It means you can use flex fuel. But it says on the gas cap E85. It doesn't. There's apparently a variety. Did you know this? There's a variety of flexible or alternative fuels. E85 being one of them. And I've tried to use E85 the whole way down. I'm going to a gas station now if I make it, if I don't run out of gas. $2.18 a gallon for E85. $2.18 a gallon. 310 Chickenfoot Road, somewhere in Georgia. It's a Sheetz. I'm going to a place called Sheetz, Sheetz. But I've gotten in Kingston, back in my hometown, I get it for $2.38 a gallon. I've paid $2.68 a gallon. So everywhere else, regular gas is like $2.99 or higher in the Northeast. You're not going to get it much less than 87 octane for $2.90 something. But I'm getting E85 for as low as $2.18. Now here's the caveat. Caveat? I don't know if that's the word. So here's the thing. You burn through it quicker. Your mileage is a little bit lower. But your performance on the vehicle, I think, is even better. I don't know. Everybody's got... I looked it up a little bit. It was like, I can't do all this reading. I don't think I really care that much. I do like the idea of paying $2.18 a gallon when everybody else is paying $3 or more. I do like that. And the van is great. It rides great. Sounds great. Everything is great. Everything works great. If I burn through the fuel just a little bit faster, well, it's not so great, but I'm still getting decent gas mileage. But Dave, you like math, you like numbers. Haven't you done the math to figure it out? Well, I'll tell you what. If and when I have time, when I get back to New York, I will try to sit down and figure out if it was worth it on this trip. I will try to let you know. All right, that's really enough. Wow. 48 minutes and 22 seconds. I must have the ability to do an hour, because they wouldn't give you 50 or 55 minutes. They would give you the whole hour. I got nothing else to talk about except, did you watch the State of the Union? I was going to do a show called The State of the Dumb Union, or dumbing down the State of the Union, or dumbing down the presidency. I was going to do something like that. Then I listened to it partially, then I fell asleep. I fell asleep on President Biden, which doesn't mean anything, in the scheme of things. I fall asleep during a lot of things. Things that are exciting, I'll fall asleep, so that doesn't matter. It was just a lot of, I was like, I don't believe any of this. What a campaign speech. But it was a State of the Union, but it was a campaign speech. So I'm not going to really criticize one way or the other. I can't speak to all the things that he said. Do I like him? No. Would I vote for him? No. Do I think he's a liar? Yes. Do I think there's better choices? Yes. Is it going to be President Trump? That's who I'm voting for right now. If it wasn't Trump, it would have been DeSantis. If it wasn't DeSantis, I guess I would have been stuck with Nikki Haley. But she's got some views that I'm not crazy about. So I don't have time to do a political show. To be honest, perfectly honest again, I'm not really following politics that closely. I've been really in a good place during this whole entire seasonal layoff with exercising and meditating, and part of feeling better and losing weight and just this overall not yawning, better fitness is not listening to the news. Do you listen to the news? Do you listen to local news? Do you listen to the national news? Some people listen to those channels, or go to those channels like Russian news or Japanese news or Australian or the BBC. You ever watch BBC News? So, what's your news of choice? What do you listen to on the radio? You got a cable network you like? You got a particular newscaster you trust? Anybody you trust? Does anybody trust anchors anymore? Do we even care? Wow, it's a lot of dumbing it down with Dave. 51 minutes just about. All right, folks, thank you so much for tuning in, for selecting. I hope you engage with the show. Linda, thank you very much. I always appreciate it. Keep on doing what you do, especially if you enjoy it. I love having you. And all the other people who say they listen, but I don't know how. Oh, be quiet. Oh, just stop. And don't call me to tell me you listen to the show, but you don't have time to write. You have time to write. I have time for you. Anyway, it doesn't mean anything, right? Okay, that was not right. I shouldn't have said that. Because I have time for you, you should have time for me. You do you. Yeah, I've said that before. It doesn't make me feel better. All right, we'll see you. That was episode 328. What am I going to title it? The GatorNationals? I don't know. I'll think of something. I got some time between now and 310 Chicken Foot Road if I make it. And I'll come up with a title. All right, we'll see you next episode. Bye.